Hey everybody, I'm so glad that you're able to come out and watch this webinar because it is going to change the way that you look at content, change the way that you think about delivering content, and it's going to make it so much easier for you to put together some incredible looking, incredible feeling when it comes to emotional connection content that is going to allow you just to sell a lot more, because one of the hardest aspects of using PLR, or even if you're writing your own content, one of the hardest aspects is to make sure that it really looks right. Well, Ronnie, and you can see his picture right there on the screen. He's one of my good buddies in the PLR arena. He's got so many great products out there, but this time Ronnie has blown the doors off. He's done something that people have needed to do for a long, long time. He's the first one to do it, and it is called Product Creator Pro, and he is going to demo that for us today. But let me tell you a little bit more about Ronnie. One of the things I love the most about him, and you guys know that this is one of my staples, is that he is just a man of integrity. You don't ever hear one negative about him. Every ounce of his work always stands up to the long haul. He's been in this business for so long, doing such a great job, and I just really appreciate him taking the time out to come and demo this for us, to show us how to get the most from it, and to actually offer you a chance to receive this software at a lot less than what's happening out there in the standard retail market. So make sure that you jump on this quick, but you're going to be blown away by what happens today. Ronnie, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I'm excited. I always get excited to just show this off because, bottom line is I'm all about uh, really good design that's accessible for everybody. And yeah, I'm just sort of excited to teach a little bit and then just go right into a demo. So I guess with that said, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ronnie Nejme. I make six figures per year online. I've been doing this since 1999, and really what I am is a content marketer. For years I've been doing info marketing and blogging and an author, but really it all boils down to creating and distributing content. And we're all busy, right? I mean, I've got a really busy family life, a beautiful wife, seven nephews and nieces, regular family events. I don't have time to figure things out and have to work from scratch, every single time. So I really want to focus on quick and easy solutions that are honest and true and good quality. So one of the things I realized early on when I was marketing with content is that if I wanted to stand out, if I wanted to grab people's attention, if I wanted to actually blow past the competition, because there's a lot of competition out there, I really needed to be different. And when it comes to content, really the most important way to be different is in the visuals. It's in the design. And so a lot of people have this question, well, does design really matter? Well, it does. I mean, it actually will affect your sales. And I'll show you some visual examples and I'll show you some statistics. And I think you'll get you'll this will help make up your mind. So I guess for you, Paul, when you see these two phones, which one would you rather buy?
I would rather buy the one on the left, even though I think at one time I might have owned the one on the right.
Well, the one on the right, I mean, kind of looks like you can build a house with it. It looks like a brick. And but there's beauty in design, and we know that. And in fact, design isn't just for technology. And here's another example. I mean, which one would you rather eat? And actually, let me also phrase it in this question as which one would you pay more money for?
Mm.
Because on the right, it might taste amazing, but it also could be baby vomit. I'm not sure. But on the left, it looks like a lot more money. It looks like the presentation makes it seem like it's more valuable. There's a higher perceived value, and we eat with our eyes. We're very visual people, and the same goes with books, right? I mean, same idea here. Paul, what do you think? Would you really read the one on the right? Would you trust its information?
Not me. I
It's
mean, I want it clean. I want it
yeah.
sharp. I want it to give me confidence right out of the gate.
Yeah, and it really boils down to a perception of value. And to be honest, the one on the right, to me, looks like it's not worth reading because if the cover looks like that, well, what's inside? Your customers are the same. They're not going to buy from you. They're not even going to bother reading your books or newsletters or reports if you don't look professional. And so, those are some obvious visual examples. And let me actually give you some facts that will also help you make up your mind when it comes to design. Here's a survey. Do covers play a decisive role in your decision to purchase a book? So do people judge a book by its cover, essentially? Do people buy books based on its cover? 79% said yes, just on the cover. Wow. I mean, that's just shocking, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want to lose 79% of my sales because my cover looks like garbage.
Man, no
It's
doubt.
same idea here as a university study out of Montreal. And, you can go ahead and research this. It's a very interesting study, but I've just sort of distilled it into a couple of main points. Attractive book covers can not only get readers' attention, they're also likely to make a new book appear more interesting. So that means that you are going to actually stand out and appear more interesting based on your visuals alone. Again, people judge a book by its cover, it from a distance. I call it the glance test, Paul. So, at a 10 feet distance, or, on the Kindle store, holding your iPad, you're looking through the Kindle store, you're sort of fingering through and you're saying, okay, well, what stands out? You want to pass that glance test, because when you pass that glance test, the likelihood of people actually buying your products increases substantially.
Right.
And again, out of the same study, this is what really slapped me in the face, and it should slap us all in the face. A product's package has a significant impact on perceived quality, especially when consumers are not familiar with the book. So that means that the packaging, the cover, the interior pages, the back cover, all of that stuff has like makes you actually look could actually make you look worse than what you are, right? I mean, we showed an example of a bad book cover, but it can also make you better than what you are. I mean, you could be at the same level playing field as Oprah and Dr. Phil, who've got multi-million dollar budgets simply because of your professional design. So it actually will elevate the perceived quality of your product. That means that the outside is going to better reflect the quality of the inside. Is that making sense?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so this is sort of where we've realized there's a big problem. Design is holding a lot of us back because, there's a big problem. Even if you are a good designer, okay, even if you love doing design, it still takes a lot of time, right? I mean, you're not going to be able to do anything within, minutes, let alone hours. And sometimes if you have the money, you've got to outsource it. It could take days or weeks. I've actually outsourced a newsletter before, an 8-page newsletter that took 6 months, if you can believe that. And I don't know, I had the patience of a saint, I guess. I don't know why I waited that long. But, you know, let's say you do it yourself, then you have to buy the software and, you've got to learn Photoshop, you've got to learn InDesign, you got to take a college level course to figure it all out. It's pretty complicated. And so that's why we developed this tool called Product Creator Pro. We wanted to make design, the outside cover and the interior page layout, we wanted to make it push button simple. And so, before I show you the tool, I just want to show you what one of our clients have done. And she's using Product Creator Pro. She redid her books. Okay, so this is an example of before and after. She redid her front covers and the interior page layout. So I'm just going to show you the covers. So you can see on the left is her original. It's not horrible, but I mean, some of the color choices are a bit, dated, I guess you'd say. And then on the right, this is an after. It just looks a lot cleaner. It looks more modern, and it looks more trustworthy. And here's another even more stark example. On the left, you've got sort of the happy days 1960 social media bonanza. And then you've got I'm actually in, the 21st century social media bonanza. It just looks a lot more professional. I mean, what do you think, Paul? Like, which one would you rather trust if you're going to hire a
Yeah, no
social media
doubt.
expert? So,
Yeah, the one on the right by far.
yeah, and it just makes you look more like an expert. And again, here's another example before and after.
Wow.
She did this, folks, in minutes. Like, this is what's really amazing to me, and it always gets me every single time. This literally took minutes to do this, and it was done all automatically. No weird templates or downloads or fiddling at all. So it's pretty cool stuff. And so, bottom line is, we need sexy design. That's what we really need. If we want to stand out, if we want our prospects to turn into customers, to turn into raving fans, they're clamoring for good design. They're not going to ask you that. They're not going to say, "Hey, I want a better design." But what they'll say is, and you can often see this in Amazon listings for Kindle books especially, the content was good, but I couldn't read it because the formatting was terrible. So they're not going to say, I want better formatting. They're going to complain about the negatives, or they're just not going to tell you because they never bought your book to begin with, or never bought your product or ebook or whatever, because it just doesn't look professional. And bottom line is, design is a trust factor. People are going to trust you if you look professional. And on the flip side, if you look amateur, you don't look credible. You don't look like the expert. So, so with that said, Paul, I mean, I'd like to show a demo. I'd like to show you Product Creator Pro in action. I'll show a couple of different examples. And I guess before I do that, I want to actually show you what we're starting off with. Okay, so let me show you this. So Paul, can you see my screen here? You should see on the left a Word document.
Yep, yep, see it.
Cool. So this is what we're starting off with. Now, this is actually a pretty decent looking Word document. It's not the greatest. I wouldn't distribute this as it is. It's not, too exciting, but it's got headers, it's got bolding, it's got, numbered lists and subheaders and bulleted lists and all that stuff. So it actually looks pretty good. So that's what we're starting off with. And of course, the better formatting you use, and by formatting, I simply mean bolding and lists and subtitles. That's about it. The better your document's going to end up looking, right? I mean, it's a visual separation, and we teach people that in our training, how to create better formatted documents. So on the right is what I created in literally minutes. I created all of these in minutes, by the way, Paul. So here's the same content in a newsletter format. Now, actually, I'll scroll down. I'll show you: fat burning furnace, get in shape. Here's the same content. Here's the introduction. It's 2 columns. It's got my logo. It's got my information on there. And, it's got the same headlines, and it looks great. Here's our front cover. Now, again, in the same few minutes, I created this newsletter. Totally different. It's a completely different style. And again, here, all in the matter of minutes, created out of the same docx file. It's easy to forget, but we started with the same file here on the left. It transformed into this pretty slick looking newsletter, and also Product Creator Pro designs books. Here's some book covers. Again, you see my information. This very well could be yours, Paul, or whoever's. I mean, this could be your own face. This could be your own logo, your own contact information. And here's the formatting of the book. So, and we also have sort of different styles here in the reports. If you don't want to have a cover page, just different types of formatting, 1 column, 2 column, and so on. So all of this used the same content. It used the exact same content to create these print-ready PDFs and also Kindle formatted books. So let me actually now dive into Product Creator Pro and show you this in action. So here we are. This is Product Creator Pro, very straightforward. Very simple, easy to use. It's meant for anybody to use. And I just want to point something out, Paul. You do a lot of traveling. We have multiple devices, multiple computers, and sometimes we're not on our home computer. Well, guess what? When you download Photoshop, for example, you are limited to using Photoshop on that computer. And if you are ever
Right.
away from that, you can't use it. And you're good luck. I mean, you're good. You have to buy another license. It's a big pain in the butt. Product Creator Pro is web-based. And the advantage is that it works on a Mac, it works on a PC, it works on Linux, it works wherever you have a web browser. So you'll be able to create documents from wherever you are. Go on a vacation, you have an idea, you can create a document. A book, a newsletter, report, it doesn't matter. You can be wherever you are. So I just want to point that out. Now, also, with it being web-based, that means that you get always the latest version. And I always use this example. One day, you're going to go to bed, you're going to wake up, you're going to fire up Product Creator Pro to create your document, and you're going to log in. And all of a sudden, you're going to have the latest, greatest features and functionality. Never had to download a thing, no fiddling with, code or, installations and wizards and all that stuff. It's just going to work. It's always going to be the latest cutting edge version because it's web based. So I just want to point that out right off the bat because that's a huge time saver and it's a huge sanity saver. You don't have to worry about downloading software on multiple computers, paying extra license fees and all of that. It's just all entirely web-based, Mac, PC, Linux, or whatever. Okay, so now that spiel is done, let me show you Product Creator Pro in action. So you can create books, newsletters, reports with or without a cover. And so I'm going to create a newsletter here. And so you can choose from different templates. We're always adding more. And you can kind of see the quality here. This is just going to make you look super professional. So I'm going to click next. I've already pre-filled this information just to save a little bit of time. So I'm creating a fitness newsletter here. So I've added a headline, which is what's going to appear at the top. and then a subheadline, which is the text that just appears right under it. And also I uploaded a logo, a headshot, an image, which is what replaces these images in the sample here. Also here, this is what's really neat, the profile information is automatically saved. So I don't have to enter this every single time. This is going to save my name, my company, if I want to put my address on there, if I want to put my phone, I can just leave it blank. It won't show up. But if I want to do that, say you're going to offer this as a service for, a doctor, a dentist, and they want to have their contact information, you can do that in here. Your Twitter ID, Facebook, and your bio, and so on. It automatically saves it, so I don't have to re-enter it each time. Okay, so also for newsletters, we have this front cover here where we can put in a little message or an article. So let's say, it's a sort of like a welcome note, or, you have a mini article right on the front cover. You can do that here. So I've just pre-filled all of this. So Paul, is this making sense so far?
Super simple, very intuitive. And when you said anybody can do it, I'm even watching and think that I can do it. So I'm pretty pumped up about it.
Awesome. So yeah, so now we choose an interior page layout. So each template will have different layouts depending on what you choose, a book versus a newsletter versus a report. So right now we're doing a newsletter, and we can do one column or two columns. So I'm going to leave it at two columns. So you get to see sort of what it looks like here, and I'm going to click next. I've already uploaded a docx file. So that's it. I mean, just upload a Word docx file and you're done. If you don't have a docx file, you can always convert it using Word, or we have this little button here that says copy and paste text. So you can do that. Now, again, if any of this stuff is, you're a little confused, there's a couple of ways to get help. There's this little question mark, which shows you exactly what to do on this page. You'll see them on every page. And also we have this question mark here, which takes people to our support center, and we, answer questions usually within hours, as well as having a little knowledge base. So we're taking care of you. Okay, so we've uploaded the docx file, and now we can edit it if we'd like. Now, I've already created this docx file. I'm happy with how it looks in the docx, so I'm not going to edit it here. I could, if I wanted to, make any last minute changes. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I'm going to click next. So what Product Creator Pro is doing right now is generating a small preview so you can actually see what it's going to look like and make a decision. Well, hey, do I want to publish this, or do I want to sort of, make any last minute changes, maybe change the template, or, something like that. So you can see a preview here, and then we click publish. And this is sort of where the magic happened. Before our eyes, we created automatically an HTML file, which is just the raw HTML code, not the design, but the actual raw code. And this is useful if you want to copy and paste articles into WordPress, and it spits out the HTML code that you would just paste in for WordPress. PDF, a print ready PDF, and I'll download that so you can see what it's like. Also a Kindle formatted version. Again, I'm going to download that so you can see what that's like as well. So first of all, downloaded the PDF, and it's just opening up. Here we go. So in the matter of, and I was talking, Paul. I mean, if I was going faster, I could have done this probably in about under 5 minutes. But in a matter of literally minutes, I've created a brand new newsletter here using using content that I've already got. I mean, how much content do your customers have that's sitting around doing nothing that now could be turned into a book, a newsletter, a report, that can be turned into any number of things that you can sell, that you can give away, that can generate traffic, and it's going to make you look super, super pro. I mean, what do you think, Paul?
Man, I love it. Super clean. This is something you'd be thrilled to hand out to anyone. A couple of things real quick. I love that you mentioned Kindle. That's
Yes.
huge. People need to be jumping on that. Secondly, I love that you mentioned that you could actually use this for clients. We've got a lot of folks who are doing offline marketing. So,
Yes.
great tool and resource for you. And then you just mentioned, how much content people have. When
Mm-hmm.
those of us who use PLR for our own businesses, we do have a lot of extra PLR. The guys watching right now that are members of Nichology have access to a minimum of 300 PLR ebooks. That
Wow.
doesn't count articles or anything else. I mean, there's so much content right there. You can just plug in, make it look sharp, and sell it. I tell you what, it's a lot easier to sell something that looks this good than trying to be all hyped up and hope that somebody will buy. Design
Exactly.
does sell.
Absolutely. Now let me show you the Kindle formatted version, Paul. And, this is we're just really proud of this because we want to be able to make your content, get out there faster. We want it to look professional, and we don't want you to have to wait for an outsourcer or wait to figure out all the technology yourself. So here's how you can create a Kindle formatted book in the same amount of time that I created a print ready book. Here's our cover. This is a newsletter. Imagine creating. Now you wouldn't use PLR on the Kindle store, of course. You'd use original content, but here's our you could create a monthly Kindle newsletter and post that on the Kindle store and take a look at this. This is Imagine this done in the same time as I did a PDF, a print ready PDF that you can print and distribute. And
I
Paul, you
love it.
mentioned offline. I just want to show something really cool. Actually, let me open this up. Um, I actually created some sample newsletters here. So imagine now you're targeting a doctor, and you approach him and say, "Hey, Dr. Philip Smith, I can create a newsletter for you." And you can actually create a sample of him. You go onto his website, you get his picture, you get his contact information, you put in some sample text, maybe you grab some content from Nutology that is relating to health, and you show him, you print him a sample. He says, "Hey, I can create this newsletter for you. Here's a little sample. What do you think?" Guess what? He's gonna be like, "Holy crap, yeah, sign me up," because you already showed him what it looks like, not just a sample, but with his face on it, right? So again, so here's another. Look at the different layouts. Meet our team. And you can have a little spotlight featuring a specific staff member, and they can have a monthly newsletter. They can send this out to their patients. They can be advertising their Facebook and their Twitter, and you notice these are hyperlinks. This will take people to the Facebook profiles. So imagine that. And of course you can have images in here. I'm going to show that demo in just a second. But look at the quality here, that this doctor is going to be like, ooh, wow, or dentist or plumber or whatever it is. You can be targeting anybody, and take a look at the kind of quality here that they can be using, and they
Man, I
can be
love
proud
it.
of. So yeah, I
Yeah, I
just wanted
love it
to.
because we're always talking about if we're going in meeting with a business that they want to see it.
Exactly.
And now we're not having to spend hours designing something for one guy or girl that may or may not buy. And instead, we can instantly customize and allow people to see what their newsletter, what their content piece would look like. I love
And
it.
here's a book, and here's like a book format. If you want to create a little guidebook, a handbook, here's a completely different format, one column. Oh, sorry, here it is. And it totally, it just changes. It totally changes it. You would never guess that it's the same content. You would never guess. Like, I mean, take a look at this. This here, let me just go to the front page. This is the same as this, and it's the same as this, and all I did was change a template. So you can actually give this offline business, a sampling of 3 different templates to choose from. Hey, which one do you like? Boom, boom, boom. And little does he know that it actually took you minutes. Not even. I'm going to show you actually. So Paul, this is what we just created. Now pull out a little stopwatch or your iPhone or whatever, and I want to do a completely different one, and I'm going to see how fast I can do it. Okay, so you got your timer ready?
Hold on, almost there, almost
Okay,
there.
so while you're getting that, I just want to emphasize this is what we're starting off with. Sorry, let me actually start to show you what we're starting off with. This is the document, okay? This is just content that we have. This is what we created already. Now, when Paul gives me the okay, I'm going to show you how this can be transformed into something completely different. So again, we're starting from ugly, we're going to beautiful, and then we're going to go to beautiful again in literally, so hopefully seconds. Okay, so
All
you're
right,
ready,
I'm
Paul?
ready.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to step one. I can choose a book. Let's choose a book in this case. And, there are different templates. Here, I'll pick this one. This one looks pretty good. Click next. It already has my information saved because it's already a created project. I'm going to choose this layout here with one column. Click next. It's already uploaded my document because it saved that. I'm not going to edit it because I already made the changes in the docx file. It's created a preview. This is probably the longest wait. Click publish. And okay, what do you think? How many seconds was that, Paul? I've already downloaded it.
28.6.
Okay, if I was talking faster, I probably would have done. I've actually my record so far is 17 seconds. So look at this. In 28.6 seconds, I went from. Oh, let me just show you again. So let me get the Word document open. This is what we went from on the left to this, okay? And then in 28 seconds, we created this. Now, I don't know about you, Paul,
Love
but
it.
I don't know anyone, any designer who can create anything in 28 seconds like this.
Right.
That's the bottom line. So, here we go. This is what we created in 28 seconds. I can easily go back and make any changes. I can download, all of the different formats. Of course, here I'll just show you really quick if I go to report with no cover. So in some cases, you might want to distribute a document, an affiliate report, let's say, on the document sharing sites, or you want to give it to your list. Um, you can actually, here we go. So you can actually create different styles of templates. Here in this case, this is a report format. You can do one column or two column. And in the same amount of time using the exact same content, you're going to look completely different. So I'm just going to show you again, once it generates the preview, you'll see this looks completely different, right? I'll show you now when I download it, how completely different it looks. Just click publish and click on the PDF. And so here we go. It's going to open up. It'll open up automatically. You would never guess that this is all the same content. You would
Right.
never guess. You would never guess. And no one would ever need to know that you did this all automatically. I mean, look what we did in seconds. Hold on, there we go. There's three examples: a newsletter, a book, and a report style format. You would never guess that this was all done automatically, let alone, done in seconds. So, um, you can see the uses here for offline marketers. Also, you can offer this as a service for online marketers. I mean, you could offer this as a service for life coaches, for bloggers, for anyone who wants to get traffic. You can be creating these reports, distributing the free reports on the ebook sharing sites. Anyone who is trying to get traffic would be your target audience. You can also create the Kindle books and distribute Kindle books as a service, and this can all be done automatically for you. It's pretty amazing stuff.
Man, that is super cool.
So let me show you one more quick example. Again, I'll just to save a bit of time. I'll actually start this one from scratch, but I'll start with a newsletter, and you can see we have different styles, and again, we're always adding more. There's a few here, and again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So here, I'll pick that one. And just to start from scratch, let's say you create short stories and you want to have a short story newsletter. So you can call this Ronnie's short story. Oops, short short story newsletter. Get into the mind of Ronnie. I don't know. I'm just gonna make some stuff up. Edition. You can call this edition one, volume two, or whatever. I'm just gonna put that in there. You can see how easy this is from scratch. I'm doing this from scratch, so you see there's no wizardry or magic here. I'm just uploading images that I already have. So there's my logo. Here I'll actually choose a different logo so you don't think that it's branded. The PDFs are 100% yours. The Kindle books are 100% yours. It's there's no branding on it. As a premium member, there is no branding. It's you own the copyright. So that's the cool thing. It's 100% your own. I'm just showing my pictures because I'm doing the demo, but it very well could be your information, your content. So here I'm just generating some dummy text that I can put into the front page of the newsletter, and let's call this um, mumbo jumbo short story, and read below. Oops. Read below for this short story. Okay, so obviously this is content you would fill in yourself. It's very straightforward, just filling in a few fields. I mean, if you can send an email, you can use Product Creator Pro. We intentionally designed it that way. So yeah, so we have different templates. You'll see that there's a little bit of a color difference on the bottom. I like the one that has a logo. That's just me, but you don't need to do that. Also, of course, you don't have to put your own picture on there. Very well, instead of putting your photo, you can actually put an icon. You can put a little, telephone, or you know what I mean by icon, Paul, right? Like just a little sort of
Yeah.
sample image, like any of these. It could be little sample images like that. Just that just could be that don't necessarily have to show your face. Okay, so let me show you another example here. This is a 2 MB file that's has some images. It has some more complex formatting and hyperlinks and all of that. And here we go. So again, I can edit this if I want. You can see that they're images. The bullets, the formatting, if I scroll down, you'll see there's some hyperlinks. There's my signature image and my headshot image. Click next, and it'll generate a preview for us of that newsletter format. I mean, I'm amazed every single time I see this. It's like, wow, I can't believe that was done automatically. Um, okay, so here we go. So click on PDF, and we'll show you what that looks like. And I'll also download the Kindle version. Actually, just download that now. Okay, so download the Kindle version so you can see that. So here we go. Again, content done automatically, and you can use all that nicheology content that you have access to create stunning reports, newsletters, full-on books, and sell it. I mean, this is gonna you'll be able to increase your prices with this. That's the coolest part about it. Active hyperlinks you'll see here. The images are automatically resized to fit, in this case, in 2 columns, and active hyperlinks in your for your links in the footer. And here's our newsletter. I mean, that's what we can do automatically. I'm just really proud of it. All right, let me show you the Kindle version. And Paul, if you have any questions, please definitely chime in.
Man, it's all tight. I don't really have any questions. I'm just excited about it.
Awesome. Okay, so here's our
You should
here's
have
our.
made it more complicated.
Oh, you're too funny, man. All right, so here's our Kindle version. So again, just keeping the drop caps and the hyperlinks and all of that good stuff, and our images, of course. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's Product Creator Pro, and the coolest part about it is that its design is finally accessible for everybody. And not only that, not only are we going to actually give you this application, this software that you'll be able to use from wherever you are, Mac, PC, Linux, as long as you have a web browser, you can use it. You don't have to download anything. There's no HTML and CSS hell. You don't have to figure out any code. No no upsells or weird things. It's just it's all web based. You get access to it right away. And not only that, you get access to the latest version. Every time that we have an update, you all automatically have that update. So not only are you getting the software, but we have a training center. And inside the training center, we're constantly adding additional training. We run Q&A workshops with our clients, and we teach the latest tools, techniques in terms of formatting, in terms of design, but also in terms of marketing, in terms of content marketing, Kindle marketing, and so on. So here, you see design hacks, um, profit strategies, how you can make your money back selling this as a service for people. We also show you where to get stock photos, free stock photos, royalty-free, commercial-free stock photos that you can use. All the images that you're seeing me use, those are all free. Okay, so you'll get access to all of that. Plus, here's some examples of workshop training, templates with PLR in them, reports that you can use, traffic generation strategies, how to create reports really quickly. All of that is in our training area, and we're constantly adding more. So you not only get the software, you get the training, you get the Q&A workshops, and actually, Paul, we do have a special offer for your folks, and that is an instant $100 discount. So when you go
Love
to
it.
that link on your screen right now, you will get an instant $100 discount. Because you're a friend of Paul, and you're a friend of Paul, you're a friend of mine. Paul's an awesome guy. What you guys have access to with Nicheology is phenomenal. And now you can actually implement it and turn it into some beautiful designs that you can sell, that you can give away, that you can offer as a service. Um, so yeah, some great stuff. And actually, not only that, Paul, but I'm also giving your customers $100 PLR.me voucher. So they get access to $100 of my PLR content in addition, over and above. So you're saving $100 instantly, and you get $100 of PLR.me content. And that's only when you go to that link on your screen.
Love it. Man, that is an awesome deal. I always love special pricing. And to be able to get another $100 worth of PLR content, it just knocks it out of the park. And guys, if you've not had any of Ronnie's PLR before, it is the highest level. It's going to be something that you are proud to represent you and represent your online business. So, I want to urge you to grab this piece of software. It's so cool, just everything that Ronnie already talked about. You can access it anywhere. You guys know my kind of famous story about going to Disney World at the last minute, releasing some PLR and making enough money for our entire trip. If I'd had this piece of software, I probably could have doubled the response simply because it would have looked great. And Ronnie's right. I mean, people do judge a book by a cover. I mean, how many times have you done that? I know that I do it all of the time. And now all of our content can look great. When I think about the amount that I've spent through the years getting covers designed, getting things laid out, I know that just the cost of Product Creator Pro, I've spent that much on getting an e-cover designed. No formatting, nothing laid out looking sharp, but just a cover design. So this is an incredible deal. You're going to save a boatload of money. You're not going to have to pay all these designers, all these layout artists, and you're also going to save a boatload of time because, honestly, I know that most of you are trying to do this yourself because you're trying to save, quote, save money. You're trying to do it yourself, and you give up and you stop and you never get your product released. You never get your newsletter out because you're spending so much time trying to figure everything out. Well, it's all been figured out for you. Push a couple of buttons, boom, it's generated, looks awesome, and you'll be proud to have this on your website. You'll be proud to sell all of your ebooks, newsletters, represent offline businesses out there in your community because you know this is going to be clean, it's going to be sharp. Ronnie, anything else you need to add to this, brother?
No, I mean, I said it is a special offer. I just, we can't keep it forever. So, go to that link that you see on the screen. And, if at any point in time you go to that page and it says offer expired, well, sorry, you got to take action right away because we are constantly adding new features. And when we do, we increase the price. So, you can imagine that there's a huge expense for us to create something that works for you. So, we're saving you a ton of money. And that means that we can only hold this for a short period of time. So go to the link on your screen to find out when that expires. And the only other thing I wanted to say, Paul, you raised a really good point, and that is, we got to focus on our specialty. And, unless you are a professional designer charging, $100 an hour for Coca-Cola or whatever, $200 an hour for Coca-Cola ads or McDonald's ads, design is probably not where you should be focusing your time because where you really should be focusing your time is interacting with your customers and getting to know them, going to live events and getting to know joint venture partners and people you can team up with. And bottom line is the marketing. That's where you really should be focusing your time. People who are the bookkeeper and the designer and the customer service agent and the coder and all of that don't tend to do very well for very long in this business. It's just too much to do. Your focus needs to be on what brings in the money, what brings home the bacon, what brings home the bread, and that is where you need to be focusing. And I can tell you straight up from my own experience, unless you are a professional, Fifth Avenue designer for big brands, design is probably not where you should be focusing your time. Marketing is
Right.
where you should be focusing your time. So that, other than that, I mean, go to that link on your screen and give this a go. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can create, and definitely email us, show us what you've been able to create, show us your results. We love to hear from you, and we just get excited and pumped up to see that. We've seen, Paul, our customers create church bulletins and newsletters, for their, nonprofit organizations and so on, and it just always impresses me. It gets me all excited and jazzed up because it's something that, I feel like we can contribute in a positive way, help people get their content read. Bad design means people aren't reading your content. Good design means people are consuming your content, and when they consume, they are buying more, they trust you more, and yeah, so it just gets me all pumped up. So I want to see what you guys can do. So go to that link on your screen, get started, and then show us what you've been able to do. Show us how you've turned your nicheology content into masterpieces, that have made you money, that has got you a lot of traffic, or maybe that you sold as a service. So yeah, that's it, Paul.
Love it, man. Ronnie, thank you so much. Guys, I know that you've got to be pumped up about this as well. Saving money, saving time, getting out great looking products, great looking giveaways, great looking newsletters, great looking period, because that is going to increase your credibility, increase the value of what you're delivering. And just like Ronnie said, you don't need to be out there spending all your time designing. You need to be spending your time marketing and making money from that. Well, Ronnie, thanks again for coming out today and spending some time with us. And I really am amazed at what you put together. I'm looking forward to the future as well. And as always, guys, never forget the success is not an accident. Be blessed.